It happened during the opening shots of the first Gulf War.
The big question, did the British government sacrifice a plane full of people to smuggle special operators into Kuwait? It's 1991. A Boeing 747 has been reduced to rubble on the ground at Kuwait International Airport.
The body of the plane is definitely destroyed, twisted metal, parts thrown all over the airfield.
This was no crash, and it's not just any plane.
Everything about this story is one big mystery.
Let's rewind. On August 1st, 1990, the plane, British Airways Flight 149, takes off from London. Its first stop is Kuwait City. Deborah Saloom and her husband George are among the 367 passengers on board.
We were in first class, and it's quite separated on the British Airways flights from the regular passengers. We got our seats, and everything was really nice.
But when Flight 149 lands in Kuwait, all hell breaks loose. While it's refueling, the cabin door opens to let in an unexpected visitor, who reportedly speaks with a British accent.
He was not in uniform. He had on very nondescript clothes, like a khaki-colored light blazer, khaki pants, no insignias, no anything.
Suddenly, a group of 9 men who'd been passengers and have a military look stand up to meet the guy.
They were young men. They were fit and muscular. They had crew cuts. The officer said, "You're late. You're really late." And while all the passengers waited, this group of young men went to the front and got off the plane.
While the passengers don't know it yet, Iraqi strongman Saddam Hussein and his forces have begun their invasion of Kuwait. As Flight 149 sits on the tarmac, Iraqi forces seize the airport. The passengers and crew are taken hostage by Saddam's troops.
They became human shields of Saddam Hussein.
Saddam moves the hostages to strategic locations, making them human shields.
He somehow thought that if he put Allied prisoners in these locations, the Allies wouldn't bomb there.
The prisoners were then transferred to detention centers in cities like Basra and Baghdad. There, they were subjected to starvation, mock executions, and more. Luckily, the Salooms survived. 9 months later, after the Allies have driven Saddam out of Kuwait, their family is reunited back in America.
We just made it out because of the grace of God. It was not our time to leave this earth, and we were very blessed that we were able to get back to our family.
And while the other passengers made it home too, the plane, as we've seen, was destroyed. A detail some believe is no coincidence.
With the spectacular victory and the safe return of the hostages, it looks like case closed, but not exactly.
As the dust settles, people start wondering, who were those guys that got off the plane when it first landed? And how'd the plane end up like this? It doesn't look like this thing went up in an explosion to me. It looks a whole lot like fire, and the reason is we can see almost an entire fuselage. The parts to this plane look contained rather than spread out. We don't see any evidence of a blast crater.
For our answers, we'll go to our experts.
Author Stephen Davis claims the wreckage is a clue that Flight 149 was a pawn in a secret operation. In Davis's opinion, it's suspicious the British government didn't warn the aircraft that the Iraqis were invading, since other countries did contact their planes.
What we now know is that approximately 3 hours flying time from Kuwait City, Iraqi troops crossed the border and began the invasion of Kuwait. I have a Defense Intelligence Agency flash message distributed to all agencies, including NATO, so all the allies got it straight away.
The DIA flash was sent hours earlier.
The Kuwaiti air traffic control were turning away other aircraft, so it could have been alerted at any time, but it wasn't. The government has lied about this constantly, and the government deliberately landed them in a war zone to get the secret team on the ground.
A secret team? Yes, that's what Davis believes those 9 mystery men were.
They were part of a group which is known in the British Special Forces community and intelligence services as the Increment.
The Increment, aka the Inc., have a literal license to kill. They're rumored to have been involved with many top-secret operations on behalf of the British government, including secretly monitoring Gaddafi's inner circle ahead of the 2011 Libyan uprising, working undercover in Northern Ireland during the height of the Troubles, and carrying out high-value assassinations during the Bosnian War. Former Army Ranger sniper Nick Irving agrees with the Trojan horse theory. He believes the original plan was to get the Increment team in before the invasion started. But once Saddam moved early, the British decided to proceed regardless.
Having been in this special operations community, flying in on a commercial jet, having special privileges, deboarding the aircraft, all the key traits of what a clandestine operation would look like. And I think they were there to gather intel, maybe to scout out enemy locations to be bombed or targeted. Key individuals, high-ranking individuals within Saddam Hussein's army, government.
Ex-CIA officer Joseph Assad isn't so sure. He's worked extensively in the Middle East. And Assad thinks Flight 149 landed in Kuwait due to old-fashioned bureaucratic bungling.
There were no obligations for the British Front Home Office or the embassy to warn them of a pending invasion, particularly when nobody knew what was happening. It was utter chaos.
As for those 9 mystery men, Assad says when it comes to eyewitness testimony, the facts can get muddled over time.
It's not plausible. People under trauma, they see things, they conclude things. How did you know he is British or otherwise? And particularly if that was part of a covert mission. You probably don't want to reveal your own identity.
Wait up. What about the destruction of the airplane?
Saddam set Kuwait ablaze. So it was not uncommon at the time for the Iraqis to destroy property. We're going to destroy this. We're not going to allow them to leave. We're not going to allow this aircraft to leave.
But advocates of the Trojan horse theory believe the plane was actually targeted by the Allies, trying to cover up evidence of the secret operation. That lack of a blast crater, for instance, to me, it suggests a fire from a source other than a bomb planted inside. And Davis believes that source was an explosive dropped from above.
The plane was destroyed by the US Air Force on a request from the British government. A pilot zipped in, bombed it, and destroyed it. Of course, they did not want the plane examined closely.
Due to that lack of physical evidence, we may never know the whole story. And to this day, many passengers from Flight 149 say they're still suffering. And not only because of what Saddam did.
We have not received any apologies from the British government. Deborah and myself and my son and the other passengers were expendable. And we were basically on a, quote, Trojan horse.
Since the incident, some people have come forward to say that they were involved in the op, but the British government has always denied it ever happened.
But just last year, the Brits admitted they did make a mistake. They now say they knew about the invasion, but failed to tell British Airways.